Sign here, Dad. Pastor Mitchell says it's what God wants. My daughter slid the papers across my kitchen table. Same table where I'd taught her to write her name 40 years ago. The man in the black shirt smiled at me. Called himself a pastor. Had a Bible and everything. I looked at the property transfer documents. My house, my savings, all of it going to Jennifer. For my own good, she said. I smiled back at him, asked him which seminary he attended, watched his face go blank. Turns out I'd been an elder at Grace Community for 32 years. I knew every ordained minister in 3 counties. This man wasn't one of them. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. I didn't sign anything that day. Just sat there watching Jennifer's face as I asked Pastor Mitchell about his credentials, where he trained, which diocese ordained him. Basic questions any real pastor could answer in his sleep. He stumbled through half an answer about online ministry certification before Jennifer cut him off. Dad, this is insulting. Pastor Mitchell came all the way from his church to help us today. Which church? I asked. New Hope Fellowship, over in Riverside. I'd lived in this county for 48 years, knew every church within 30 miles. There's no New Hope Fellowship in Riverside. Jennifer's jaw tightened. Same expression she'd had as a teenager when I caught her lying about where she'd been Friday night. You're confused, Dad. You don't know every single church. I know the ones that exist. Pastor Mitchell stood up, gathered his Bible. Perhaps this isn't the right time. I can come back when... No need, I said. I'll call Bishop Freeman tomorrow. Ask if he knows you. He oversees ministerial credentials for this region. The man was out my door in under 30 seconds, left his Bible on my table. I opened it later. Still had the price sticker inside. Bought it 3 days ago at the Family Christian store on Route 9, $7.99. Jennifer stayed in her chair, face red now. You just embarrassed me in front of a man of God. That wasn't a man of God. That was someone you hired to manipulate me. Oh my God. You think I hired him? Dad, you're paranoid. You're getting old and paranoid, and you need help. I stood up, walked to my coffee pot, poured myself a cup. Hands steady. That surprised me. Get out of my house. What? You heard me. Get out. We're not done discussing this. You can't keep living here alone. Mom's been gone 2 years and you can barely take care of yourself. This house is too much. The property taxes alone are paid in full through next year. Which you'd know if this was actually about my welfare. She tried a different tactic, softened her voice. Dad, I'm worried about you. We all are. Brandon and I just want what's best. Brandon, her husband, the man who'd been eyeing my property for the last 6 months, like a developer studying a teardown. How much is he telling you this place is worth? Jennifer blinked. What? The realtor. How much did Brandon's guy say he could get for it? Nobody's talked to a realtor. I pulled out my phone, showed her the photo my neighbor Helen had taken last Tuesday. Brandon standing in my driveway with a man in a suit. The man held papers. Had that look realtors get when they smell commission. Jennifer stared at the photo. That's... Brandon was getting quotes for your roof repair. My roof doesn't need repair. I had it replaced 4 years ago. 20-year warranty. She stood up, grabbed the papers she'd brought, the ones that would have signed away everything I owned. You know what? Fine. Stay in this house. Fall down the stairs. Have a stroke alone in the shower. See if I come running when you need me. You haven't come running in 2 years, not unless you needed something. That's not fair. No? I opened my phone again, scrolled through messages. September 15th. Dad, can you watch the kids Saturday? October 3rd. Dad, the transmission went out, can you help? November 12th. Dad, we're short on the mortgage this month. December 20th. Dad, can we borrow your truck? I kept scrolling. 6 months of messages. Everyone asking for something. Find me one message that doesn't start with you needing money or favors. Jennifer's face went white, then red. You're seriously keeping score? What kind of father keeps score? The kind who just caught his daughter hiring a fake pastor. She grabbed her purse. I was trying to help you. When you end up alone and broke because you're too stubborn to accept help, don't call me. Haven't planned on it. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the windows. I stood there holding my coffee. It had gone cold. I'd forgotten to drink it. That's when I started counting. Really counting. Not just the messages, but the money, the favors, the years of help that had somehow turned into expectation. I sat down at my computer, opened my banking app. Spreadsheet I'd been keeping without really meaning to. Every transfer, every loan, every emergency that never got paid back. $53,000 for Jennifer's wedding. She'd wanted the country club, the band, the photographer who charged $4,000. I'd said it was too much. Her mother convinced me. She's our only daughter, Walter. Let her have this one day. One day. $53,000. $38,000 for the down payment on her house. The one she and Brandon couldn't quite afford but had to have because of the school district. Just until we get on our feet, Dad, we'll pay you back. That was 6 years ago. Never saw a dollar of it. $22,000 for Brandon's business venture. Some app idea that was going to revolutionize something. I didn't understand it then. Don't understand it now. The LLC dissolved after 9 months. Then the monthly bleeding started. $300 here for car repairs. $500 there for new appliances. $800 for the kids' activities. Always an emergency. Always necessary. Always temporary help that somehow became permanent expectation. I added it up. Took me 2 hours. Checked it 3 times. $147,000 over 8 years. Not counting the babysitting. Not counting the times I dropped everything because Jennifer called needing help. Not counting the birthday parties I attended alone because Brandon had work. Not counting the Christmases where I brought gifts and got thank you texts 3 days later. My wife Martha died holding my hand in our bedroom upstairs. Jennifer showed up 4 hours after I called her. Had to finish something at work first, she said. Couldn't leave early. Stayed 45 minutes at the funeral home. Left because the kids needed to be picked up from soccer. I'd made excuses for her then. She's busy. She's overwhelmed. She's juggling a lot. But she had time to find a fake pastor. Had time to draw property transfer documents. Had time to plan this intervention. Just no time to visit unless she wanted something. I closed my laptop. Sat in the quiet house. Same house Martha and I bought in 1976 for $38,000. Fixed up ourselves. New kitchen in '82, bathroom remodel in '94, roof in 2018. Every improvement done right because we planned to die here. Now it was worth $420,000 according to the county assessment, maybe more. Brandon's realtor probably told him $500,000 if they caught the right buyer. My phone buzzed. Text from Jennifer. I hope you're happy. You just ruined our relationship over money. I stared at that message for a long time. Turned the phone off. Didn't respond. Next morning, I called Daniel Morrison, lawyer who'd handled Martha's estate. Good man, straight shooter. Daniel, I need to update my will. Sure, Walter. What changes are we making? All of them. He came by that afternoon with his paralegal. We spent 3 hours going through everything. The house, the savings, the life insurance policy worth $200,000, the investment account Martha and I built up over 40 years. You're sure about this? Daniel asked when we finished. Completely. It's going to cause problems. It already has problems. I'm just acknowledging them. He nodded. Had me sign in 6 places. His paralegal witnessed. Everything legal, everything documented, everything ironclad. One more thing, I said. I need a cognitive evaluation, full battery, memory, decision-making, everything. Daniel raised an eyebrow. Walter, you're sharp as you've ever been. I know that, but I need it documented. Official. He understood. Set me up with a neuropsychologist, Dr. Sarah Chen. 3-hour evaluation the following week. Tests, puzzles, memory exercises, the works. She called me 4 days later. Mr. Anderson, your results are excellent. 96th percentile for your age group. No signs of cognitive impairment whatsoever. Can you put that in writing? Of course. I'll email the full report today. I had it printed and notarized the same afternoon. Put it in a folder with the updated will. Added copies of my financial records. The timeline of loans to Jennifer. The messages. The photo of Brandon with the realtor. Evidence. That's what Daniel called it. Insurance policy, I called it. 2 days later, Jennifer showed up with Brandon. Didn't knock. Used the key I'd given her for emergencies. Walked right into my kitchen at 7 in the morning. I was sitting at the table eating oatmeal. Same breakfast I'd eaten for 30 years. "Dad, we need to talk." Jennifer had her serious face on, the one she practiced for work meetings. Brandon stood behind her, arms crossed, like he was providing backup. "About what?" I asked. "About the other day. Your behavior. Pastor Mitchell called me. He's very concerned about you." "Bet he is." "This isn't a joke, Dad. You accused a man of God of being fake. You threw him out of your house. That's not normal behavior." I took another bite of oatmeal. Let them stand there. Didn't offer coffee. Didn't ask them to sit. "Pastor Mitchell isn't ordained," I said. "Checked with Bishop Freeman. No record of him anywhere in the regional database." Jennifer's face flickered, just for a second, but I caught it. Bishop Freeman must be mistaken. Or maybe Pastor Mitchell is with a different denomination. I called 4 denominations. Methodist, Baptist, Presbyterian, Lutheran. Nobody's heard of him. Also called New Hope Fellowship in Riverside. Turns out it's a mailing address. UPS store, box number 337. Brandon shifted, uncrossed his arms. "Mr. Anderson, I think you're confused about—" "I'm not confused. You hired an actor to pose as a pastor. Probably found him on Craigslist. Gave him a script about God's will and my duty to family. Brought him here to manipulate me into signing over my property." Jennifer's mouth opened, closed, opened again. Dad, that's insane. Why would we do that?" I pulled out my phone, showed them the screenshot. Craigslist ad from 3 weeks ago. "Actor needed. Must be comfortable with religious role play. $200 cash. 1 hour commitment." The ad had been deleted, but Helen's grandson worked in IT, knew how to find things that people thought they'd erased. "Anyone could have posted that," Brandon said. "True, except I had Helen's grandson trace the email address. Want to guess what he found?" Brandon's face went red, started to say something. Jennifer cut him off. "Fine, yes, we hired someone, but not to manipulate you, Dad. To help you see reason. You're sitting on almost $500,000 in equity. Meanwhile, Brandon and I are drowning. The business failed. We're 3 months behind on the mortgage. The bank is sending foreclosure notices. And that's my problem because we're family. Because you have money you don't need and we're about to lose everything. I worked 43 years for this money. Saved it. Invested it. Didn't spend it on things I couldn't afford. Oh, here we go. The lecture about fiscal responsibility. Must be nice, Dad. You gotta buy a house when they cost $30,000. Try buying one now. Try raising kids now. Try making it work when everything costs 10 times what it did for you. I gave you $38,000 for your down payment, which barely covered it. Do you know what houses cost in decent school districts? Do you know what houses cost in any district you can actually afford?" Brandon stepped forward. "Show some respect. That's my wife you're talking to. And she's my daughter, who just hired a fake pastor to con me out of my house. We weren't conning you. We were trying to make you understand your Christian duty. The Bible says to help your family. The Bible says a lot of things. Doesn't say to commit fraud." Jennifer's voice broke. Actual tears now. "I can't believe you're choosing money over your own daughter. Mom would be so disappointed in you." That landed like she meant it to, for about 5 seconds. Then I stood up, walked past them to the living room, came back with a photo album, the one Martha kept on the coffee table, opened it to a page marked with a sticky note. Martha's handwriting, dated 6 months before she died. Jennifer called again asking for money. 3rd time this month. I told Walter we need to stop. She's not learning, just depending. He won't listen. Too soft. Someone needs to tell her no before we have nothing left. I'd found this entry a year after Martha died. Been reading through her journals. She kept 3 of them. All said versions of the same thing. Jennifer stared at the page. "Mom didn't write that." "That's her handwriting. I can show you 20 other entries if you want. You're lying. You forged this. I pulled out my phone again, called Daniel Morrison, put it on speaker. Daniel, I'm here with Jennifer and Brandon. Can you confirm what's in my updated will? His voice came through clear, professional. Walter, are you sure you want to? Just confirm it. Your estate leaves everything to Grace Community Church. The house, savings, investments, life insurance, all of it. Approximately $670,000 in total assets. Your daughter Jennifer is explicitly excluded from inheritance. The will states in detail why. Silence in my kitchen, the kind that feels thick. Thank you, Daniel. I hung up. Jennifer looked like I'd slapped her. You're leaving everything to a church, after everything we've done for you? What exactly have you done for me? We visit, we call, we include you in our lives. I pulled out the folder, the one I'd been building, set it on the table, opened it. You visited 4 times last year, Easter, July 4th because you needed my truck. Thanksgiving for 2 hours. Christmas Eve because the kids wanted presents. Every visit lasted under 3 hours. This year you visited once, in March. Needed to borrow my ladder. I showed them the spreadsheet. Every visit, timed and dated. Phone calls, 37 in the last year. 33 of them asking for money or favors. 3 were you inviting me to something that required me to bring food or gifts. 1 was telling me you couldn't make it to my birthday dinner. I flipped pages, showed them the bank records. $147,000 over 8 years, not $1 paid back, not 1 thank you card, not 1 visit that wasn't about what you needed. Jennifer grabbed the folder, started reading, face getting paler with each page. Brandon tried to grab it from her. She held on. You tracked everything? Every dollar? Every visit? What kind of person does this? The kind who got tired of being an ATM. We're your family. Family visits when someone's wife dies. You showed up 4 hours late. I had work. You had work. Your mother was dead on a steel table and you had work. Jennifer's hands shook. That's not fair. I couldn't just leave. I had responsibilities. So do I, and I'm done with them. She threw the folder at me, papers scattered across my kitchen floor. You know what? Keep your money. Keep your house. Die alone in it. See if I care. She stormed out. Brandon followed, stopped at the door. She's right, you know. You're going to die alone, old and bitter and alone. Already alone, Brandon. Been alone since Martha died. Only difference is now I'm honest about it. They left. Tires squealing out of my driveway like they were making a point. I bent down, started picking up papers. My knees complained, but I managed. Helen knocked on my door an hour later. Let herself in when I called. She'd seen the show. Hard not to when they peeled out like teenagers. You okay, Walter? Yeah, I'm okay. She helped me pick up the rest of the papers. Didn't ask questions, just made coffee. Sat with me at the table. You know this isn't over, she said finally. I know. They're going to come back. Try other things. Let them. Helen nodded, sipped her coffee. Your wife would be proud of you. My wife would tell me I should have done this 5 years ago. That too. That night my phone exploded. Texts, voicemails, missed calls, Jennifer's friends, her sister-in-law, Brandon's brother, all of them with versions of the same message. How could I abandon my daughter in her time of need? Didn't I understand how hard things were? What kind of father chooses money over family? I blocked them all. Every number. Took me 20 minutes. Then came the Facebook post. I don't use Facebook, but Helen showed me on her phone. Jennifer had written an essay. How her father had become bitter and paranoid after her mother's death. How he was making irrational decisions. How he'd accused a respected pastor of being fake. How he was cutting off his only daughter because she dared to suggest he needed help managing his affairs. 347 likes. 112 comments. Most of them sympathetic. Poor Jennifer. What an awful situation. Their prayers were with her. Few people pushed back, asked for his side. Jennifer responded that I refused to communicate. Was isolating myself. showing classic signs of elder abuse by financial predators who were probably manipulating me. That was creative. I had to give her that. Want me to comment? Helen asked. Tell them what really happened? No. Let them think what they want. Walter, she's making you sound senile. I have a neuropsych evaluation saying otherwise. Let her talk. But Helen was right. It didn't stop. The calls escalated. Brandon started leaving voicemails about their foreclosure, how they had 30 days before the bank took the house, how their kids would be homeless, how I could stop it with one signature. Jennifer tried guilt, long rambling messages about memories. Remember when I was little and you took me fishing? Remember how you said you'd always take care of me? Remember Mom's last words about loving each other? Martha's last words were actually, tell Jennifer to check the turkey, because we were hosting Thanksgiving and Jennifer kept disappearing to her phone. But I didn't correct the record. Then Jennifer tried lawyers. Well, one lawyer sent me a letter about elder financial abuse, demanding an accounting of my assets, threatening legal action if I didn't restore her rightful inheritance. I sent the letter to Daniel. He called me laughing. Walter, she has no legal standing. You're competent. It's your money. You can leave it to a cat shelter if you want. Can I leave it to a cat shelter? Absolutely. Good to know. Daniel sent a response. Very professional, very thorough, very much telling Jennifer's lawyer that he was welcome to pursue action if he wanted to waste everyone's time and his client's money. We didn't hear back from the lawyer, but we heard from Adult Protective Services. The call came on a Wednesday. Woman named Patricia. Very kind, very professional. Said they'd received a report of financial exploitation, that I might be at risk. Could she come by and do a welfare check? Who filed the report? I can't disclose that, Mr. Anderson, but we take all reports seriously. She came by that afternoon, looked around my house, asked questions about my daily routine, my finances, my family relationships. I showed her everything. The cognitive evaluation, the will, the folder documenting 8 years of financial help to Jennifer, the fake pastor incident, the lawyer's letter. Patricia took notes, asked if she could contact my doctor. I signed the release form. Mr. Anderson, I have to ask, are you being pressured by anyone to change your will or give away assets? Only by my daughter, but I'm not giving in. She smiled. I can see that. Is there anything you need? Any services we can connect you with? No, ma'am. I'm doing fine. You certainly seem to be. She left. Called me 3 days later to close the case. No evidence of exploitation or impairment. Actually used the word impressive to describe my documentation. For what it's worth, Patricia said, I see a lot of families. What you're describing isn't uncommon. Adult children who view their parents as retirement plans. It's sad, but it's reality. Thank you for checking on me anyway. That's my job. And Mr. Anderson? Stand firm. You're doing the right thing. I thought that would be the end of it. Investigation closed. Case dismissed. Point proven. But Jennifer had one more play. She showed up on Christmas Eve, brought the kids, stood on my porch ringing the doorbell like she lived there. I opened the door. Didn't invite them in. Merry Christmas, Dad. The kids wanted to see you. Emma and Tyler stood behind her, 7 and 9, holding wrapped presents, looking uncomfortable. Hi, Grandpa, Emma said. Quiet, rehearsed. Hi, sweetheart. We brought you presents, Tyler added. That's kind of you. Jennifer smiled, warm, genuine, the smile she used to have before everything became about money. Can we come in? Just for a little bit? It's Christmas. I looked at those kids. Not their fault their mother was using them as leverage. No. Jennifer's smile froze. Dad, it's Christmas Eve. Your grandchildren are here. I see that. So let us in. We drove all the way here. The kids are excited to see you. You drove all the way here because you thought I wouldn't say no in front of them. Her face hardened. I drove here because it's Christmas and families should be together. We haven't been together in years, Jennifer. Not really. You just didn't notice because I kept paying for the privilege of being ignored. You're really going to do this? In front of your grandchildren? You brought them here. I didn't. Tyler started crying. Quiet at first, then louder. Emma grabbed his hand. Look what you're doing, Jennifer hissed. You're traumatizing them. I'm standing in my doorway. You're the one who brought children to a confrontation. Brandon appeared from the car, walked up fast. What's going on? Your father-in-law is refusing to let us in on Christmas Eve. It's not Christmas Eve, I said. It's 4 in the afternoon on December 23rd. Close enough. No, it's not. Brandon put his hand on Jennifer's shoulder. Come on, let's go. He's not worth it. They started walking back to the car. Jennifer carrying Tyler, Emma trailing behind, looking back at me with confused eyes. I almost caved, almost called them back, almost said we could talk. Then I saw it. Jennifer glancing at Brandon, that quick knowing look, the one that said they'd expected this, counted on it, brought the kids specifically so I'd feel terrible and give in. The door closed. I watched through the window as they drove away, slow, like they thought I'd run after them. I didn't. I ate dinner alone that night. Ham sandwich and soup, watched a movie, went to bed. Phone stayed quiet until morning. Then the messages started. Jennifer's friends again. Her cousin. People from church I barely knew, all saying versions of the same thing. How could I turn away my grandchildren on Christmas? The Facebook post was worse. Photos of Emma and Tyler crying. Caption about a grandfather who valued money more than family, who refused to even let them in the door on Christmas Eve. Comments calling me heartless, cruel, senile, abusive. Helen came over with cinnamon rolls. Found me reading it all on her phone. Turn it off, Walter. I'm allowed to see what they're saying. You're allowed. Doesn't mean you should. I handed back her phone. Ate a cinnamon roll. Still warm. She's escalating, Helen said. Each time you don't give in, she tries something bigger. I noticed. What's she going to try next? Don't know, but I'm ready for it. Helen looked at me, really looked. You doing okay? Really? Yeah, I miss Martha. Miss what I thought I had with Jennifer, but I'm okay. You're tougher than you look. Spent 43 years in a machine shop. Tough is all I've got. She laughed. Poured more coffee. Stayed until noon, just being there. The next attempt came 2 weeks later. Registered mail. Court summons. Jennifer was filing for guardianship, claiming I was incompetent to manage my affairs. Had affidavits from 3 people saying I'd become paranoid and hostile, was isolating myself, making irrational decisions. The 3 people were Jennifer, Brandon, and Brandon's brother Tom, who I'd met exactly twice. Daniel called me within an hour of getting his copy. Walter, this is frivolous, but we have to respond. I've got the neuropsych eval. I know, and we're going to bury them with it, but it's going to take time, cost money, be unpleasant. How unpleasant? Court hearing. You'll be questioned. They'll try to make you look confused or angry. Judge will want to see you're capable. I'm capable. I know that, but bring the folder. Every document. We're going to show the judge exactly why you changed your will. The hearing was set for February 14th, Valentine's Day. The irony wasn't lost on me. We met at the courthouse at 8 in the morning. Daniel brought his paralegal. I brought my folder and Helen as a character witness. Jennifer arrived with Brandon and a lawyer I didn't recognize. Expensive suit. The kind you hire when you're desperate. We sat on opposite sides of the courtroom. Didn't speak. Didn't make eye contact. Judge Morrison took the bench at 9. No relation to my Daniel. Woman in her 50s. Sharp eyes. No patience for nonsense. She read through the petition. Looked up at Jennifer's lawyer. You're alleging financial exploitation and incompetence? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Anderson has shown a pattern of paranoid and erratic behavior. He's isolated himself from family, made drastic changes to his estate plan without clear reasoning. We believe he's either suffering from cognitive decline or being unduly influenced. By whom? We don't know yet. But someone convinced him to cut off his only daughter after years of close relationship. Judge Morrison turned to me. Mr. Anderson, do you have representation? Daniel stood. Yes, Your Honor. Daniel Morrison representing Mr. Anderson. She noticed the shared last name, smiled slightly. Related? No, Your Honor. Lucky coincidence. Or confusing one. Proceed with your response. Daniel laid it out. The cognitive evaluation, the financial records, the timeline of loans, the fake pastor incident, the court summons itself proving Jennifer's escalating attempts to access my assets. He presented it clean. Chronological. Damning. Jennifer's lawyer tried to interrupt. Judge Morrison shut him down. I'll hear from your client in a moment. Let him finish. Daniel finished, handed copies to the judge. She read through them, took her time. Ms. Anderson, she said finally, these records show your father gave you over $140,000 in the last 8 years. Is that accurate? Jennifer stood. Your Honor, my father was helping family. That's what families do. And you paid back how much of this? We had an understanding. It was help, not loans. Did your father characterize it as help or loans? Jennifer hesitated. Help, but that's because he's my father. He wanted to help. And now he doesn't want to help anymore? Now he's being manipulated by people who want his money for themselves. Such as? We don't know yet. But why else would he suddenly cut off his own daughter? Judge Morrison looked at me. Mr. Anderson, are you being manipulated by anyone? I stood. No, ma'am. Why did you change your will? Because my daughter hired a fake pastor to trick me into signing over my house. Silence in the courtroom. Jennifer's face went white. Explain that, Judge Morrison said. I did. The whole story. The pastor who wasn't ordained, the Craigslist ad, the traced email, Brandon with the realtor. Jennifer's lawyer stood. Your Honor, this is speculation and... Did you hire someone to pose as a pastor? Judge Morrison asked Jennifer directly. We arranged for spiritual counseling. My father was grieving and we thought, yes or no, did you hire someone to pose as a pastor? It wasn't like that. Yes or no? Yes, but only to help him see. Judge Morrison held up her hand. That's enough. She looked at the papers again, looked at me, at Jennifer. Back at the papers. Petition denied. Mr. Anderson clearly has capacity. His decisions are rational and well documented. This guardianship filing is dismissed. Jennifer's lawyer tried to object. Judge Morrison cut him off. Furthermore, Ms. Anderson, if you file any additional frivolous claims regarding your father's competence, I'll sanction you for harassment. This court's time is not to be wasted on estate disputes disguised as welfare concerns. Gavel down. Done. We walked out. Jennifer followed us to the parking lot. Dad, wait, please. I stopped, turned around. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was desperate and scared, and I made terrible choices. But I'm still your daughter. You're still my dad. Can't we fix this? I looked at her, really looked. Saw Martha's eyes, my mother's chin, the little girl who used to help me in my workshop. Also saw the woman who'd hired a fake pastor, who'd filed for guardianship, who'd brought her children to manipulate me on Christmas. No, I said. We can't. Please, I'm begging you. You're begging now because the court said no. If the judge had sided with you, you'd be selling my house already. That's not true. Yes, it is. Brandon appeared. Come on, Jennifer. He's not worth it. She stood there crying. Real tears this time. Not the performed kind. I love you, Dad. If you did, we wouldn't be here. I got in Daniel's car. We drove away. Left her standing in the parking lot. You okay? Daniel asked. Yeah, I'm okay. I wasn't okay, but I would be. We stopped at a diner. Had coffee and pie. Daniel told lawyer stories. Helen joined us after calling to hear how it went. We sat there for 2 hours, not talking about Jennifer or inheritance or any of it. Just being people who cared. That evening, I called Grace Community, asked to speak to Pastor Williams. "David, it's Walter Anderson. I wanted to confirm the bequest in my will." "Walter, you've been incredibly generous. Are you sure about this?" "More sure than I've been about anything. The church will use it well. We've been wanting to expand the food pantry, start that scholarship fund, maybe finally fix the roof on the fellowship hall. Martha would like that." "She would. She'd be proud of you, Walter." "Hope so." 3 months later, Jennifer stopped trying. The calls ended. The Facebook posts stopped. The messages dried up. I heard through Helen's church friend that they'd filed bankruptcy, lost the house, moved into an apartment across town. I didn't reach out, didn't send money, didn't offer help. Some people thought that made me cold. Helen's daughter-in-law said something about forgiveness at Easter service, how family should always come first. I just smiled, didn't argue, didn't explain, let people think what they wanted. I still live in the house. Same one Martha and I bought 48 years ago. Wake up every morning in the bedroom where she died, make coffee in the kitchen where we raised our daughter. Some nights I sit in my workshop, the one I built in the garage in 1983. Still has all my tools. The workbench I made from scrap oak, smell of sawdust and oil. I'm building birdhouses now. Give them to the church for their fundraiser. Simple project, keeps my hands busy. Helen stops by most afternoons, brings food sometimes, mostly just sits and talks. About her grandkids, about the neighbor who plays music too loud, about nothing important. It's enough. Last week I updated my will again, added Helen's name, not for much, just enough to say thank you for being there when it mattered. Daniel asked if I was sure. "She's not family," he said. Then caught himself. "I mean, not blood family." "She's the only family I've got," I said. And that's the truth. I'm 71 years old. Have my health, have my house, have my independence, have peace. Jennifer made her choices. I made mine. People ask if I regret it, if I miss her, if I wonder about my grandchildren. I do, some days more than others. But regret isn't the same as being wrong. I spent 43 years working to build something. A home, a life, a future Martha and I planned together. Wasn't going to let someone take it because they thought they deserved it more. Not even my daughter. Especially not my daughter. The house is quiet now. Too quiet sometimes. But it's mine. Every board and nail and memory. And when I die, it'll go to people who'll use it right. Feed people. Help kids go to college. Fix a roof that's been leaking since 2003. Martha would approve. She'd say I should have done it sooner. Been tougher earlier. She'd be right. But I got there eventually. That's enough. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.